GEEK fam, now that's a good pick too.
Against the Tan.
Oof.
Yeah, great finisher here for GEEK fam in the drafts. They have ways to actually deal with the high-lows, but wow, they'll have to actually wait up, right? The Moscow won't be able to fully deal with the high-lows in the early game. I think they might actually have to play the normal GEEK fam strat, which is mid to late. They might have to give the early game away. It's a Nolan high-loss, choosing Carmilla for the neutral objective contest.
Yep. Although, on the side of Team Liquid, that's an abundance of magical damage though, which is probably why they went for the Nolan as well. Still pretty balanced so far. So for GEEK fam, especially if you're the roamer, if you're the tanky member in the front line, do you want to try and mitigate the damage coming in from that Nolan, or do you want to risk just getting lifted, getting shredded by that magical damage, man? That is the big question for this early game for GEEK fam.
A big question that shall be answered by GEEK fam in the early game, or possibly in the mid to late. It's time to dive into the land of Dawn for what was a best of 3, a lead for GEEK fam. The Liquid were able to equalize, bringing us to a full 3-game series. And it's back to this one game that will determine who moves forward up on the standings. GEEK fam or Liquid ID.
There was a trap sprung up by GEEK fam, but unbeknownst to them, there was actually a response from Team Liquid as well. And look at this Tushin pressure, man. So obnoxious. And there, because of that sequence of events, the trapception, a boy is really forced to use that flicker very, very early on.
46 seconds in, it's just really slow in the early game, right? They're really both just playing for the neutral objectives. They'll spawn out in the first one. They don't even want to go for like the big fights that we saw. Technically, even with the Kacha trying to maneuver forward. Both these roamers are more of the passive kind, you know, more of the reactive kind in a lot of ways. So it'll be even more passive in the first 2 games, at least for the first few minutes up until they get those ultimates.
I'm not sure by IndyHome though, you're seeing that for GEEK fam, even Inspire in the hands of Beloyski here, so they're not really concerned about the survivability aspect, even though technically in the early game, there's a lot of damage thrown around, up and about. Beloyski with the Bargain Hunter is trying to go for the... Oh, never mind, Masako! That's a leader.
No flicker earlier, he was baited out, and Fabian takes full control. Masako a bit too greedy and will lose out so much gold up top. That is the entire turret shield.
Wait, they can get more than just a turret shield. Are they going to try and go for the whole turret altogether? Beloyski comes through, zoning them away. And now Aran with the 1v2 with the Yeskiel.
Law and order committed. Now Veldora will be knocked up. Wow. Like a toy, Veldora popped the vengeance, but Yeskiel with the 2-chin will secure that kill. Now Turtle though, Vincent Beloy and a boy is on it. Glorious halfway pop, Vincent secures the turtle, but Beloy knocked up again on towards that glorious pathway though. Oh my goodness, man. Yeskiel is playing the members of GEEK fam like a toy.
You give him space, this Lantern Girl, and she takes everything. Oh,
whoa. Maybe stuck, stunned up here. We'll use a retribution though to find compensation on that neutral objective loss.
Good stuff. No damage just yet for Masako. But as expected, right? GEEK fam can't really do anything in the early game against Liquid. This is a very high kill pressure game in the early game for Liquid. They have a Carmilla, Jusin, and that Hylos. And on top of it all, they have so much more of the ganking power with the Nolan. This is the weakness of the Phobias too. You're very, very vulnerable to a lot of these ganks, man. You have the Vengeance, and your kit is built to all in. If you get shut down from the start of the game, it's going to get real tough for Veldora.
Quite hairy indeed. For the side of GEEK fam too, you can see that because of the Tushin presence, Beloyski is spending a lot of time in the mid lane. So these side lanes that are already on a rather unfavorable matchup, they can't really get assistance from Beloyski the same way they did in the previous games. That means that now Fabian, more than Arashiki, has more space to operate. But look at this.
Beloy stunning Fabian. No follow-up though, but take a look at the damage already. That was Lokia. Damage test on towards the roamer.
Half HP in a single combo. You went for the Inspire and not tenacity, no firmness. That's what you get. Beloyski is going to be a lot more vulnerable. So we might see the more usual Beloyski, you know, the 0-7 Beloyski power play.
Oh, look at this, man. Aaron Shiki will be able to pick up the first turret of the game.
4 minutes.
In 4 minutes. This is an extraordinary lead. 3,000 in 4 minutes. Geek Fam needed to stop this early snowball from getting this high, and the fact is, the snowball might be on the worst possible members. Fabian has the kill, and Aaron has all of the gold. This is a scary Natan. You can see another neutral objective just taken in the weak side of the map. The Natan should be the weak side. It's now both sides are the strong side. Oh man, what are Geek Fam gonna do?
Even in the mid lane here, you can see Yehezkiel taking a lot of attention, but Geek Fam are the ones playing a lot passive, but Masako,
The 3v1 situation, he will not be able to survive, surely. And that will be Masako taken down.
Arashi, I know it's just the 4th minute of the game, but considering the win cons for both teams, this is literally going a bit too well for TLID.
even considering the snowballing potential, the Natan in the late game, I know that the Moskov does a lot of damage, but the Natan even more so. And if you look at the battle spells for the side of Geek Fam, no purifies by the way. So Team Liquid with the more dynamic, the more aggressive ways to start the fight, they don't have any ways. The Geek Fam have no ways to really get away from those plays.
Is this a Natan or a Brody, folks? That's what you see from Brodies, you know, taking turrets, rotating and taking another turret. Geek Fam have no answers for this. It's a 4,000 gold lead already, and now they can honestly just look for a fight. They are so far ahead. Yehezkiel can do whatever he wants. It's just reactive for Geek Fam at this point. They all have to farm. They all have to wait for the mid-game power spike for some of these members. But even then, when they get to that point, TLID will be so far ahead.
It's almost like the worst scenario to be forced to play reactive against a team like Team Liquid. This is like one of the teams that are very dynamic, very unpredictable. So being reactive against this team, it's a bit too dangerous. But Masako, hang on a second.
No, don't show up. Don't show up, Masako.
We'll do it.
Sphere of Misery is there. The damage though, my goodness. The kills is still for Love. 4,000 gold lead, almost 5 here. Oh, Malefic Roar already, so I think he will test his damage again to Woloski after this Malefic Roar, man.
Oh man, free. Everything. The flicker was free, Arashi.
Wasn't really required either. Masako did not have to show himself. He saw that Weedy was already there. Still went for it to try and do something. But now look at that. Yehezkiel already low, but the purple buff gets taken by Fabian. It's gonna get worse and worse. If Geek Fam can hang on to this mid turret, maybe. But look at this. Vincent actually finding a turret on the top side, but at what cost? The turret in the bottom side might be taken in exchange.
Just by the minions alone, it's slowly but surely getting taken away. No one's dealing with it just yet. It actually might fall, or at least it'll be so low to a point where TLID can just force a siege down below. Oh no, it's taken down by the minions!
Last minute too. Wow, Geek Fam losing so many turrets already. They're still focused so much on the mid one here just to get the safety from the damages. But look at Witty behind enemy lines.
Shout out R7 though, who is restreaming now. Yehezkiel with the Land of Prayer. He's like a puppeteer, man. Just controlling the puppets.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Chip here, restreaming R7. That's his nickname now. Unfortunately, we don't get to see a lot of Mr. Chip in the game, so I'm glad we get to see Mr. Chip on the screen here. Oh, he's shocked, he's surprised. Oh,
That's a great look.
Featured me. Starts laughing. Now, okay. R7, man, always a joy to see him. A legend of RRQ Hoshi. But back to the game here. Man, we were talking already about this, right? The fact that, yes, they have ways to deal with the high loss, but they're going to have to wait. It's still conditional. Masako needs to wait for the 3 items. It isn't the normal way we see an answer towards the high loss. And the fact that he's so far behind will even get to a point where he can deal with the high loss.
And to top it off, Vincent as well. One of the key factors to victory in game number 1 and 2 for Geek Fam. What is he able to do right here, right? He's actually shut down. He's getting his camps taken away. So even the early to mid pressure that this Julian should have really isn't allowed by Team Liquid at all. Now with the Lord coming up, this is one of these objectives that can't really be ignored. If Geek Fam want to let it go, they have to try and get something for it because they know that most of the turrets outside the base most likely will fall from this Lord.
Man, you can even see it early. Oh, this is the free Lord, ladies and gentlemen, in the 8th minute of the game. The purple buff, they actually need to give Masako the purple buff just to give him farm. Aran might be flanking. Oh, Glorious Pathway.
They try to cut him off.
They're trying to find Vincent to isolate him, but Woloski. The lantern. Woloski's gonna recall here, trying He's sacrificing Vincent. Technically 2v1 with the puppeteer. Fabian though secures it. Wow. He secures the BOD as well. More physical damage.
The usurper always has to take those kills, man. That could have been Juicens.
Nah, Juicen doesn't need the kills. He doesn't need to snowball. He already has 2 anyways. Fabian wants to get more, but look at that. A boy already very, very low. Now with the Glorious Pathway, can he get something more?
Perfect Glorious Pathway. A boy forced to use that IMU. Valor trying to tank that mid, trying to distract the waves as well. Aron though from the flanks. Opening vision, the turret mid defalls. Geek Fam though will defend their inner mid turret.
7,000 gold leads still with the Lord alive. There's going to be another wave of enhanced minions that they can utilize to go in for another push. That is a slow push in the bottom lane. And there should be another tier 2 for TLID. Heck, they might not even crack open one of these turrets. You know, Geek Fam don't really have the best of clears, especially with Masako being so far behind.
Ooh, stun with the Law and Order. Glorious Pathway popped as well. Fabian dumps in. Fedora now not backed up. Lord still up here, will be taken care of though. Baloyski now is going to be soaking a lot of damage, still able to survive the damage though. It's 5 and love still. Kill-wise, no kill whatsoever for the side of Geek Fam.
Been revitalized earlier by Baloyski on this Lolita. But again, they can't really do anything. They cannot walk up even, Arashi.
It's just a Tushin with the Lantern. Now Baloyski out of the base!
Oh, that's a good kill! Another kill on towards a boy. 2 members down here, 5v3. The base turret will be the main target, will be taken down shortly. Eldora finds the first kill on the board for Geek Fam, and it's towards a very important player. Aaron Cheeky goes down.
It's important, but it's not a shutdown, unfortunately, right? So the base turret pick there was still worth it. I mean, even if they traded for Aaron plus Witty or Aran, it would have been worth it. Aaron already has a Holy Crystal, so he's not in any rush to get the Divine Glaive. You know, it's just another bonus at this point. 11 minutes, Holy Crystal, already on the way to Divine Glaive. That is more than enough for the Natan.
Team Liquid could have gotten more value from the other waves in the mid and top side, but they'll take that, man. They're still having Geek Fam locked into their own base, and looking at the items, yes, skill understand that there's no real danger to this Chushin at this point. No one can just dive in and be a real threat because of the safety, right? You have a built-in flicker technically in your kit that gives you a shield as well. So you can afford to build aggressively, and with the glowing wand, with the Ice Queen's wand, this is a massive power spike. Whoever gets tagged even a little bit by the Lantern will most likely get caught, and with the glowing wand, applying that passive, the Life Bane to everyone at the same time in the middle of a big fight, it's gonna be so difficult as Team Liquid ID free Lord once again. Geek Fam, they've done the impossible before, but what can they do now? It's looking more and more desperate as time goes on.
Good move by Liquid there, by the way. You know, just see the Lord spawning at 11:40, waits for 12 minutes to get that enhanced version of the Lord.
But also, Masako has yet to complete the DHS. The 3-item power spike isn't even there in the 12th minute of the game.
This is going to be tough. It's another siege by the cavalry.
And look at how Yasuko is positioning. She knows there's not gonna be any kind of engage. Arando cuts everyone off with a Glorious Pathway.
Oh, that's a hit and run by Fabian. 5v4 now. This might be the final push. Now no blast pops. Winnie-Lo jumps in. Oh, Fabian finds a double. Beloy goes down 1 by 1. It's a maniac for maniac as Flav finds the base as well. 2-1. It's a reverse sweep.
The horse stops and the horse charges. The cavalry returning the favor, reverse sweeping Geek Fam